Hi guys, we're here with James, basically James Ward, who actually is behind, we can call it behind this amazing and special project that we are already in. And we are working really hard to make this thing grow even bigger and bigger. So today we decided to have this short video in order to communicate with you and to let you guys know some clarifications, to have some answers directly from him when it came to some common questions. We can call it like that, okay? Just straight to the point, because though this will help us, you know, to improve our movement, to improve our flow of teams, to improve our flow or people who wants to join in the program, and as well for you as leaders to have a better idea, okay, and have the best option, the best answer just right away, okay? So we have here a bunch of questions. We're gonna start with this one. Is related with the code. James, what you can tell us about the code? Is this because there are some rumors that this is not an original code and stuff like that? What you can tell for those who claim to be a blockchain expert, who actually have years in experience creating smart contracts, and at the same time have years writing, you know, using this code, this language, Solidify, who actually is the code, you know, the language that the smart contracts uses in Ethereum blockchain. What you can tell to all of them about what this code is so special, so perfect, so well done.
Sure. Well, I mean, first of all, it would have been a lot easier to just copy someone's code, right? And try to make it speak to a back office. But the reality was, when we looked at all the different code that is out there, because it's out there for the public, right? Obviously anybody can see it. There wasn't any code that we would feel comfortable using. That's just the truth. There were too many holes in the code that were out there. And not to pick on any smart contract, because there's some really good ones out there. But from our side of it, you know, 100% of our code was written from the ground up. There's not one single line of code that we actually took from any other contract out there. And, you know, for any of the experts out there, they should be able to look at it and see, right? Because it's wide open for the entire world to see our code. What really makes us different, I mean, there's a few things, but probably the biggest one that I believe is the fact that it's the very first true follow me matrix system out there. You know, there's a lot of other contracts that say that they're matrices, but they're really not. They're really just pass up systems. So, you know, we've created this so that since your people always stay with you, you know, to earn the same amount here at Lionshare, you might have to do 3 or 4 more times the amount of referrals at other contracts than you do here. So that's a huge incentive that we have here. And there's many other things, but that would probably be the biggest thing that I would say to the experts that, you know, are looking. I've heard many times everyone say this, but I've never had one single person send me anything that is actually valid on anything that they're saying. I mean, the code's there. If something was wrong with it, we'd already know. I mean, we're 70,000 members into this.
Nice. Bueno, muchachos, básicamente acabo de preguntarle a James directo al punto para aquellas personas que se consideran expertos en el tema de blockchain y leer contratos, y son expertos con años de experiencia escribiendo en código en línea Solidify, que nos puede compartir acerca de los rumores que hablan acerca del código. Y la respuesta pues básicamente es: hubiera sido muy fácil copiar un código y venir a pretender que somos los primeros, pero no es así. Cualquier persona puede darse cuenta que este código parte 100% de originalidad y fue escrito desde cero. Cualquier persona con conocimiento puede revisar línea a línea, porque es un código abierto y público, y puede darse cuenta que es fruto de un trabajo propio, ¿ok? Además, tiene algo especial, que realmente es un código que implica un sistema follow me, sígueme, porque hay otros programas que definitivamente claman o se adjudican que realmente haya un sistema que los siga, pero la manera como está escrito este código realmente describe esta experiencia en este programa, quizás la primera vez entre tantos otros contratos que hay. Además, por la manera como está montado el código, que es un sistema follow me, permite tener ganancias 3 o 4 veces superiores en otros programas que realmente no son follow me y que definitivamente no van a pretender eso. Y hay una prueba muy real, y básicamente ya van más de 70,000 usuarios. No hay una sola persona que clame realmente, que diga que el código tiene un error, con pruebas reales y concretas, y pues obviamente está dispuesto, si lo encuentra, si lo hay, si existe, que venga y nos muestre y nos demuestre realmente qué parte del código realmente no funciona. Well, basically the other question will be, what about the launch from your professional point of view, what it was taken into account before launching, in the days before, you know, the hours before, when what did you plan for the launch, and at the end, what did you didn't plan for the launch? What was the experience and what was the outcome?
Yeah, so you know the launch was anticipated to happen actually long before it went live, as we know. I think the initial date that we wanted to launch was like July 1st, and I think we went live on the 13th or 14th, right? So the 14th. So it took basically 2 weeks longer than what we wanted to, for multitude of reasons. I mean, the first one being that you only get one shot to put something on the blockchain, right? You can't go in there and you can't change it. So it was important for us to get it 100% correct. And as much heat as we took, as much excitement that was going on, we weren't about to go live until we could make sure that things were 100%. So it took us that long to get there. Now, when we were doing this pre-launch and this build-up, we definitely knew that we had attracted a lot of people, but we had no idea the amount of volume that we were going to get so quickly. I mean, we made up 29% of all the global traffic on the Ethereum blockchain for a 2-day period. That's something unheard of. So when we talked about breaking records as a smart contract, we totally broke records, right? But it took us a few days to be able to really wrap our hands around this, to calm it down, to get the system operating correctly. So, you know, during that time, it caused major stress on all the leaders, right? And I will tell you, there was one point during that time, and I didn't tell anybody this, it was just between the programmer and I, that it was really, really, really close to like, it could have been bad, like from a data standpoint, being able to recover those things. Had that happened, we would have had to relaunch a whole new contract. It would have been awful. But thankfully, we have an amazing programming team that got us through it. I think it was a successful launch. I don't see how you could say in, you know, the first 2 weeks putting 70,000 people into a smart contract could not be a success. I mean, I think it was, but we had to go through a lot of challenges to get there.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Well, esta pregunta básicamente fue relacionada con la experiencia del lanzamiento. ¿Qué se previó? ¿Qué no se previó? ¿Cuál es el resultado? ¿Qué hubo de positivo? ¿Qué no hubo de positivo? Y bueno, la respuesta es esta, básicamente. El lanzamiento inicialmente se había establecido para el 1 de julio y se tuvo que postergar 2 semanas más por múltiples razones. Una de ellas es que sabemos que en un lanzamiento de un contrato inteligente tenemos tan solo un shot, una oportunidad, un tiro, y ese tiro tiene que ser perfecto. No hay lugar a una segunda oportunidad para causar una buena impresión. Es el momento de la verdad. Entonces, con el trabajo de los programadores se decidió postergarlo tanto que fuera necesario para asegurarse de que fuera realmente bueno. En ese tiempo, pues obviamente se desarrolló un marketing de atracción y se pensó que los niveles, digamos, de afluencia de personas iba a ser elevado, iba a ser muy positivo, pero nadie se esperaba que fuera tal magnitud de personas que fueran a querer entrar en el programa en los primeros 2 días y en las primeras 2 horas. En realidad, la muestra es que el 29% del tráfico de la red de Ethereum blockchain se redirigió a tratar de interactuar con el contrato en los 2 primeros días. Eso simplemente deja una noticia muy positiva. Se rompieron cualquier récord que se había establecido previamente en esta industria. Ningún otro programa había experimentado tal cantidad de tráfico en sus primeras horas. Y también se estuvo muy cerca por la cantidad de información de colapsar y no ser capaces de recuperar la cantidad de datos, de información que se estaba manejando en el sistema, pero gracias a Dios todo salió perfecto. Indudablemente para esa experiencia, ese lanzamiento con tal magnitud de números y de personas interesadas, simplemente se considera como un éxito total y rotundo. Y los números no paran y realmente se cuenta con un programa ahora súper fuerte, eficaz y en este momento capaz de manejar cualquier cantidad de transacciones como ya lo hizo en su momento de lanzamiento. Nice. This one is related with something that specifically happened, you know, during the launch. There are some complaints. There are people that are still hesitating or doubting that you guys did it on purpose, you know, to try to take advantage. Okay, that's pretty much what the community, you know, some part of the community might think and they might say. Because there was an error, some mistake. Some people just registered under code 33, and it happens to be like that code it's just, you know, an error in the program or something. I don't really know. We would like to know what happened with that particular situation and how it was solved, and what are you guys doing right now in order like to provide that kind of support that people need to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it was a complete disaster when it happened, right? I mean, because I had people contacting me and I'm like, what are you like? We couldn't wrap our heads around like what was actually going on with this number 33. So what happened was this, we knew that when people were signing up, because the volume was going to be so high, that it might take some time for people to be able to get in their back office for the blockchain to approve the transaction. So what I asked the programmers to do is I said, well, is there any way that we can get a little box that pops up that says, hey, while you're waiting to get into your account, here is your link to promote? Because as you know, everybody was like crazy excited to get in. We didn't want to hold anything up. So here's what happened. That was a last minute addition to our system. And the designer that created it, he left the number 33 in there. It was just a dummy, like, you know what I'm saying, a dummy account, just like to show me what it was going to look like. James, is this good? Yeah, this is good. Well, they didn't remove the ID 33. So we had a bunch of people that thought that ID 33 was their ID. And not only that, they shared it with other people who signed up, and then they would also get ID 33. So it was a complete mess. So total number, I think there was like 380 people, maybe 390 people that signed up on ID 33. As of yesterday, we have refunded every single person that has signed up for that ID. So I know, I mean, especially in this industry, I know people were like, oh, they did that on purpose. I mean, it makes no sense. Like, I mean, if we were going to do something like that, we would hide something in a contract or something like that people couldn't find. We would definitely not put it out there in front of the whole world to see us do it, right? So the bottom line is it wasn't done intentionally, but at the same time, it caused us a lot of trouble. But I believe we've handled it the right way. I mean, Federico, I mean, we refunded everybody. As soon as we found out about that, we shut the number 33 down to where if someone went to try to, sign up for it, it would tell them that was an invalid number. So we did all that we could do to fix it, but it is on the blockchain, so we couldn't just like close that account. That's not even an option. So we have refunded. Everyone's been refunded at this point. And, we've just been very upfront and honest about it. And people can say what they want. It's okay. I mean, we know what really happened, and I think we've proven it with the refunds.
So transparent decisions, so transparent. Perhaps in the history, first time we see that, first time actually.
Well, remember something too. I mean, just to add to that, those payments didn't come to me, right? Those payments didn't go to the top account. Those payments went to someone, right? And we refunded that. We refunded it. We didn't have to do that. I mean, that was almost 400 transactions that we had to refund. So it was a lot, but it was worth it. And we know it was the right thing to do.
Nice, right thing to do, actually. Bueno, acabo de preguntarle acerca de un error en particular que sucedió en el lanzamiento, que muchas personas sabemos que pasó algo con el código 33. Y pues la comunidad quiere saber en realidad qué pasó. Hay personas que dicen que fue hecho a propósito, que fue un código que se puso para llevarse el Ethereum de las personas. Rumores van, rumores vienen. En realidad, pues sepamos qué es lo que pasó. En realidad, la descripción detallada de lo que sucedió es la siguiente. Sabíamos que iba a haber muchísimo flujo de transacciones horas antes o durante el lanzamiento del proyecto. Y básicamente, pues, lo que queríamos era encontrar una manera para dejar a las personas saber que su registro había quedado hecho mientras podían acceder de vuelta a la oficina virtual por la cantidad de tráfico y de registros que se querían manejar. Entonces, James sugirió a los programadores poner un mensaje, un pop-up, una ventana que dijera algo como, hey, tú espérate para poder acceder, pero tu registro ya está hecho para tener esa información, esa tranquilidad, esa certeza. Obviamente eso fue un requerimiento, digamos, de último minuto, de última planeación. Los programadores lo pusieron y pusieron un código aleatorio, el número 33, para probar cómo salía ese mensaje. Pero en el afán y ya en el momento, en el lanzamiento, con las mentes ocupadas y con la vista puesta en lo que era importante, a los programadores se les olvidó remover ese código. Y básicamente, pues esa ventana apareció en muchísimas circunstancias para un total alrededor de 380 personas, que no fueron en realidad muchos, pero por otros pueden pensar que fueron muchas personas. En fin, las personas pues se registraron con ese código y pues muchos pensaron que era un código de pronto creado a propósito por ellos, pero en realidad jamás fue creado a propósito por ellos. Y si hubiera sido el caso, ¿para qué crear un código a propósito para jalar solo o para llevarse 0.04 Ethereum por persona, pudiendo ser por un Ethereum o por miles de Ethereum ante la cantidad de registros que obtuvieron en ese día? No tenía ningún sentido. En realidad, pues ese código no pertenece ni siquiera a ellos, pertenece a X persona y ellos han empezado y están terminando un proceso de refondeo para esas 380, 390 personas que pagaron su inscripción, tienen de vuelta sus Ethereum, su fracción de registro, y eso está ya escrito y verificable en blockchain Ethereum, y en realidad pues piensa que es una labor, una tarea muy bien hecha. En lo personal pienso que también, pues porque simplemente es una muestra más de que las cosas se quieren hacer bien hechas, con transparencia y como son. ¿Ok? Bueno, this question is as well a little bit tricky one. We can call it like that, but you know, just to make it clear for those, you know, tricky minds, okay? It is related with the fact that why should have, or why we have here a person, a human being behind the program, like a corporate side. Why in this particular program there should be someone who is involved directly with the programmers, directly with the leaders, and so. And what does this person, or if it's one or two or three, how they can get earnings from the program, if we can talk about it.
Yeah, so I mean, the earnings for the partners that are behind this, we earn just like the participants. Okay, we're participants in the platform. So, I mean, as you know, there's no extra monthly fees. There's nothing being sold outside of it. So, you know, our success is only based solely on the success of the platform. I mean, and that's the way it should be, truly. So that is the way we earn. I mean, we've gotten this question. You know, it looks like there's other smart contracts attached to our smart contract. There are, okay. I mean, just like in any good business transaction, we wanted to use Ethereum's technology to protect ourselves as well. So there are smart contracts, you know, that are attached to other positions at the very top that allow us to be able to do this without looking over our shoulder. So everyone is protected, right? But I think that there's a lot of reasons why, you know, someone should be at the head of it. You know, there still is no company per se, right? There's still no admin behind it. What I see, like, my role is working directly with the team that created this platform, because they don't come from a network marketing background, right? They don't know what is needed in the field. If you have just a programmer or someone like that behind your platform, you're probably not going to get some of the things that really make it move the way that it should. So I think the most important thing is having someone at the top who can communicate with leaders, who can communicate with the field, and be able to hear what they're saying to take it back to the developers to say, hey, this is what we need to be successful. Without it, I think there's a big separation there. And, you know, eventually that program won't last if it's built like that. So that's why.
Nice. Bueno, acabo de preguntarle cuál es el rol y por qué en este contrato en particular se habla de tener un equipo de personas, digámoslo así, especie de corporativo, que están directamente relacionadas con el programa y qué ganan ellos, cuál es el rol, qué es lo que ellos hacen, por qué es necesario tener, sabiendo que es una tecnología descentralizada. La respuesta pues es directa, punzante, muy satisfactoria. Básicamente ellos ganan como cualquier otro participante en el programa. Deben desarrollar el negocio y el éxito de ellos es el mismo éxito de la plataforma y el éxito de todos dentro del programa. No están, digamos, tomando ventaja por una posición o por algo en particular. Ellos igualmente deben hacer el trabajo, dado que es un sistema descentralizado. Ahora, puede implicar varias razones por las cuales haya, digámoslo así, como unas cabezas o, digamos, una especie de corporación que, aunque lo mencionamos, no es una empresa, no tiene sede, no hay una representación legal, no existe nada que digamos, ancle a una persona a firmar o no firmar, o autorizar o no autorizar. La razón, entre múltiples, es que básicamente puede ver la necesidad realmente de establecer un enlace, una conexión entre los programadores que vienen muy por el lado de la programación, el código, la manera como funciona la matriz y la realidad. la realidad que desempeñan en el trabajo los líderes, las personas que promueven el negocio, las personas que lo sienten, que ganan, que sufren con él, que invitan, que presentan. Debe haber alguien in between, en la mitad, que pueda hacer como ese lazo, esa conexión, pueda dejarles saber a ellos, miren, esto es lo que las personas perciben y esto es lo que nosotros podemos hacer para que el sistema tenga una fluidez. Esa es la idea, es más bien un soporte, un acompañamiento, un enlace para que el proyecto tenga una cara integral y obviamente pues se pueda promover y pueda crecer. This one is related with, we heard that there is a recognition program put it in place. We actually is going to like promote, to recognize, okay, we can call it like that, some leaders, some person who actually feel the program, you know, who are working in the field with the program, who do the Zoom calls, who actually communicate, promote the program, and as well who create a structure. What you can tell us about this brand new, because actually is something really in the market, is already put in place. What is the state of this situation, this program, what you can share with us today about this?
Yeah, well, I mean, my experience in network marketing is that people oftentimes care more about recognition in front of their peers than they do money itself, right? If you give someone the option a lot of times to be recognized in front of people versus, hey, you know, here's $100 bonus, they're going to choose the recognition, being recognized. It's a little bit of a strange situation, you know, because oftentimes in companies you will have monthly fees, or you'll have corporate profits, or you'll have things like that that you can draw from to create recognition pools. The way that this is going to be designed, and we haven't fully given all the details, but we have put out there an image of what the rankings will be. The very top ranking, which is the diamond ranking, we definitely will be having a diamond getaway, if you will, like a meeting where it's for diamonds only to be able to come, you know, and collaborate with one another. So that will be happening. I believe that's going to happen in December, assuming that the COVID, you know, situation is under control. So those have been put out there. You know, the biggest question we're getting on the recognition is, you know, what comes along with it? Is there anything that comes along with it? And we're working through those details right now to figure out what it can be. It's kind of a unique situation, like I said, because it's not like there's a big, you know, company that's collecting all these funds to be able to share it, right? That's not the way it operates. So the recognition part of it, I mean, the intention is to eventually get that in the back office. So when someone logs into their ID, you know, if they're a diamond, it'll show that you're a diamond. If you're a ruby, it would show you're a ruby. And you know, you can use that for your recruiting purposes as you're getting out there and sharing the message. But there's more details to come on that. But we think that it's really important, even though this is an anonymous program, right? And we won't be recognizing people by name, being able to recognize the ID who's doing the work. Someone can take credit for that if they want to share their ID. So we think it's important for people to be recognized for their efforts.
Nice. Bueno, le acabo de preguntar a James acerca de que escuchamos, se ha hablado de un programa de reconocimiento para las personas que lleven el proyecto, lo sientan, lo lleven en la piel, lo comuniquen a los demás, hagan sus Zoom calls, hagan sus llamadas, su patrocinio, estructuren equipos, capaciten, eduquen y obviamente promuevan el programa. Él nos dice básicamente que definitivamente hay algo mágico en esta industria, en este trabajo, y hay algo que ya se sabe por experiencia. Las personas prefieren y necesitan, y es algo muy importante, tener reconocimiento en frente de los demás, en lugar de decirles, bueno, mira, aquí tienes $100 por tu trabajo. Si tuvieran que escoger entre las dos, escogerían el reconocimiento porque los hace sentir parte de una comunidad, hace sentir que su trabajo es valorado, que cuentan, que son importantes, y esa es la idea. Aunque es algo extraño porque hablamos de un sistema completamente, digámoslo así, descentralizado, anónimo. Si fueran una empresa tradicional, pues habrían unas cuentas destinadas, unos paquetes que vienen de los pagos de las personas y que van a través de un departamento de contabilidad y demás para poder tener unos costos, y que obviamente pues de ahí se establecería un programa de reconocimiento, pero aquí pues básicamente no lo hay. Pero sí se está establecido y básicamente significaría la posibilidad de participar en reuniones privadas, donde por ejemplo los diamantes tendrán cierto tipo de reuniones, otros rangos podrán tener de pronto otro tipo de reuniones, y también se piensa en un evento mundial que probablemente va a tener lugar en diciembre, cuando esta situación del COVID-19 pues ya no esté tan afectándonos tanto, donde se puedan conocer y compartir con otras personas que están involucradas y que quieren y hacen el proyecto para tener un reconocimiento a nivel global. También va a aparecer ese reconocimiento en las oficinas, porque es importante dar crédito a las personas, aunque se sabe que es un sistema anónimo, de que las personas puedan ver ahí, sí, tú eres rango tal, esmeralda, rubí, diamante, etcétera, oro, y eso les puede ayudar a facilitar, obviamente, a presentarse y a presentar el proyecto antes sus comunidades y ayudarlos en la labor de, digamos, de prospección. Es una muy buena idea y algo pues que está puesto en plaza. ¿Ok? Finally, any update you would like to share with us regarding these last days, these upcoming news, more information, more detailed information? What did you hear about maybe the necessities of the people that they want to see on their bike, on their back offices, and so on? You can let us know now what you can share with us today.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, I want to remind everybody we're only 2 weeks old, not even 2 weeks old yet. We're almost 2 weeks old, right? So just keep that in mind. I mean, when we're being compared to other smart contracts, most of the time these contracts have been around for months, right? So I think we're in good shape. But in regards to your back office, I actually just heard from the programmer. I believe that I'm gonna say tomorrow just to be safe, but it could be tonight or tomorrow. You're gonna see the ability to search your personal downline. You're gonna be able to see your transactions, all those things related to your structure. Now, we're going to continue to improve that though, right? It's not going to stop right there. Our back office, when it is all said and done, it will be phenomenal. There will be marketing tools back there. There'll be multiple languages and PowerPoints that you can download, all different types of things that are going to be coming, including languages, right? We need multiple languages on the website, so that will be coming as well. So the statistics and the structure were the number one priority. So that will be coming, like I said, hopefully either today or tomorrow is what I'm anticipating, just based on the message I just read. But that's where we're at on that. And then going forward, we just have to prioritize what the most important thing is. I would say languages are very important. So that would probably be the next step after we get the statistics and everything done. And then we'll just continue to look how we can improve things. So, as far as future, there's also, well, I mean, I want to figure out how much I want to say. There's a potential that we may add some actual digital products back there that people can utilize through their packages as well. And things like that can help them market their business. So that might be a direction that we go in the future. So there's a lot coming down the line. It's so hard for people to understand. We're not even 2 weeks old. It's like we've been here for 2 years and haven't delivered. That's not the case. We've been here like 12 days. Give me a break. No, I'm just kidding. No, but we're doing all we can, and this week will be a big week for us. So,
nice to hear. Perfectly understood. Bueno, le acabo de preguntar a James básicamente acerca de actualizaciones, qué noticias podremos esperar en los próximos días, semanas respecto a la información que quisiéramos tener actualizada en la plataforma y otras situaciones relacionadas que para las personas son importantes. Y pues básicamente, bueno, muchachos, hay que recordar que el proyecto es un bebé recién nacido, muy bien nacido, tiene apenas 2 semanas, no estamos hablando de más periodo de tiempo, apenas 2 semanas, y definitivamente pues si hay una prioridad y nos da una buena nueva de que posiblemente esta misma noche o mañana no se compromete a un plazo más allá de mañana, ¿sí? Mejor lo dejamos para mañana, perdón. Básicamente vamos a tener una actualización muy importante donde podremos ver la estructura, la estadística estructural de los equipos, la estructura de los downlines, de los referidos y las transacciones, que es una información prioritaria y súper importante para la administración y el manejo del proyecto, para dar conciencia y participación y para conocer en qué estado se encuentran las personas en el momento de desarrollar el proyecto. Eso es algo que ya prácticamente acaba de confirmar, según la llamada que acaba de tener, está listo, o sea que en las próximas horas podríamos disfrutar de eso. Y hay muchísimas cosas que van a venir. Obviamente él dice que con esta información la plataforma, el sistema de información va a ser más que fenomenal. Una prioridad que viene inmediatamente es el tema de los idiomas. El tema de los idiomas es una necesidad ya clamada por diferentes continentes, diferentes culturas, y estar disponible en diferentes idiomas para la presentación y la lectura de la información es la prioridad que vendría después. Y obviamente pues siempre tendiendo a mirar, a buscar qué otra información, qué valor agregado se le puede agregar, incluyendo quizás a futuro elementos como de marketing digital, de mercado de productos agregados para potencializar obviamente nuestro negocio y la oportunidad que tenemos con el contrato. Well, finally, James, appreciate it. Thanks a lot for this time, this special interview with you. As always, okay, such a professionalism I can see in your face and in the words you use. Finally, is there any word or sentence or phrase that you can share with those who are like, you know, behind curtains, hesitating if I'm going or not, I'm going, it is still time to start? What you can see about the future with us on this particular and special project?
You know, the best advice I can give to people is this industry is very, very shiny penny oriented. Like people look for the next shiny object. Like, you know, this one's shinier than that one, so I'm going to go here. I would encourage you just to pick a contract that you can believe in, right? Pick one that makes sense to you. If it's not lion's share, that's okay. If it is, great. We're going to be here. There'll be 1 million people in the smart contract in 2020. And, you know, I think if anything, what we've shown people is resilience, right? I mean, a lot of people would have just quit. Had they went through what we went through in the beginning, they would have just quit, I promise you. But you know, we're the ones that you're going to have to kill in order to make it die, if that makes sense. So we're excited about where we're going. If you're brand new, you know, we have 70,000 people in this smart contract, but we're going to well over 1 million. So you're one of the first. So I would say get started here today, because it's definitely going to be an amazing ride for us. It's going to be like unlike any other smart contract that you've seen out there. You know, we will have live events, we will have recognition, we will have a lot of things that are going to come into play to create a community. That's what we want to create, is a great community, and it's already happening. So Federico, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Bueno, la última pregunta básicamente es, bueno, ¿qué le puede decir a las personas que siguen ahí detrás de las cortinas, detrás de bastidores, pensándolo? Sí, no, lo hago, no lo hago. ¿Es importante, no es importante, lo quieres hacer? Bueno, definitivamente es una decisión personal, y como consejo él dice, bueno, mira, en esta industria básicamente las personas parece que están tendiendo más a seguir la estrella que esté iluminando más en este momento. Puede ser esta hora, esta más tarde, esta en 10 minutos. En realidad la decisión deberá ser un poco más inteligente y escoger un contrato y hacer ese contrato si es el que te gusta y enfocarte. Si es Lions, hacerlo. Si no, pues no pasa nada. Continuar. La realidad es que nosotros tenemos la aspiración de tener 1 millón de socios antes de terminar el 2020. Tenemos la comunidad, tenemos las expectativas, tenemos las herramientas y tenemos definitivamente un código perfecto para lograrlo. Un programa de reconocimiento único con eventos en vivo que va a hacer que la comunidad sea más fuerte, y obviamente para aquellos que se comprometan y lo hagan, sus resultados económicos estarán muy por lejos de ser los que tienen actualmente, y obviamente pretenderán pues llegar a mejores resultados. Y también para aquellos que están en esta industria, de pronto llevan tiempo, hay resiliencia, de pronto hay mucho temor a la resiliencia, de cambiar, de moverse, de ubicarse de nuevo. Esto es tecnología, esto cambia permanentemente, pero también hay que saber escoger, y aquí hay una muy buena posibilidad porque es un programa pensado para el futuro, pensado para todos, y obviamente pues eso es parte de la vida, parte del cambio, parte de la realidad, y obviamente las mejores oportunidades siempre tendrán mayor brillo que las otras. Entonces pues básicamente esa fue la entrevista con James el día de hoy, una entrevista que esperamos sea de su agrado, de su utilidad. Esperamos ayudarlos a solucionar ciertas preguntas o situaciones que puedan tenerlos ahí atascados, si es el caso, y sobre todo directamente con la persona que es, sin rumores, sin hablar debajo de la mesa, directamente a la mata, al punto. Y esa es la idea de tener esa entrevista y de participar en este proyecto.